Hey everybody, Orpheolus here. Welcome back to some more Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torna, the Golden Country. Last time, well, we stopped Malice, but at what cost? And this time, well, much like the original game, we have New Game Plus that we are going to go through. Thankfully, not going to last us a full 3 hours. Well, I guess a full 4 full episodes. Instead, this will pretty much just be one video, entailing what we have left to do here in Torna. So, with this, we're going to head and get started. So for this, drivers, teams, and the equipment and advancement of drivers and blades obtain gold, events theater, unique monster defeat status, playtime, slate fragment collection status, and accomplishment. We'll get to that later. Number of smashed green barrels. New custom and bringer of chaos difficulties are going to be available. For this, well, I recommend, for one little thing, I recommend, if you want to go through New Game Plus, to play it on custom. Just if you want to finish up, do 100%. There's just one part that I just absolutely do not stand in. Yeah. And additional features unlock drivers of hidden affinities, really nice. Unique monster time attack and saving subjugation records, also really good. You can lower your character's experience. And then you can use a bonus experience for other stuff and exchange bonus experience for special items. However though, much like the original game, all quests and skip travel points will be reset. And then once you restart, there's no going back, and gain community and community level will also be reset. So, you'll have to redo all that fun stuff. So, let us begin. For this, doesn't really matter your difficulty. I'm just going to play through things on normal. Alright then, the first major thing to note is that you are going to be starting out with all your drivers at the very start. We'll start things out with Jin. Oh, Jin's S3. Yeah, this is my main profile. So yeah, just so you remember how to do everything. Because, spoiler alert, I recorded this episode before the start of the very first episode, so that's going to be interesting.
Seems so bad.
So yeah, so the first major thing of note is that we're starting out with a full team. This will make some things rather interesting. Also, your unique monsters are also going to be able to be refought. So that'll help with community development. The next thing that we'll get to won't be until we arrive at the first camp. So, let's go ahead and bring Mikhail back into the party. And begin that fun process all over again. Oh, hello there, Mr. Gargoyle. Goodbye, Mr. Gargoyle. Rip, decent music. And this is even more awkward. Hello, Mithra. Get beat by Mithra and Adam.
Doesn't look like we'll be capturing you then.
Alright then. So here at Fetley Village, our first major thing of note is going to be here with this traveling Nopon. From here, you can redeem some additional stuff for your No, never mind. This is massively melee Mithra. So, much like the original game, you can talk to that Nopon, and you'll be able to upgrade Mithra to, crit spamming goodness. So, the next thing I want to note though is an insane glitch. We arrive at the ideal location to achieve this. This glitch destroys Torna. Like, the entire speedrun of Torna the Golden Country revolves around this little glitch. So, I'm just going to open the menu, close out, hold down all trigger buttons, L2, L1, R2, R1, down, and X, and you suddenly die. If you hold it through the death transition,
Careful now, team.
oh look, you are still in this area. So, engage an enemy, withdraw, and you are going to be in a zombie-like state. So, why is this so important? Well, the reason behind this though is that, well, your blades aren't really going to be in the glitch state though. So, nothing really fancy there. However though, what gets fancy is visiting the campsite. If it'll let me. Alright then. So here at the campsite, all your stuff maintained, so your chat goes through.
I know it'll be
So all your home cooking's going to be able to work on through.
Just taste it.
Yeah, sure, why not? So yeah, so that's all fine and dandy. You can do your chat, it'll give you a little bit of a insight of what's going on. Alright, Lady Laura, your mother's saving zone. Alright then, so just giving you your information back. But the real thing to note though, is resting, for two important reasons. The first reason is that you can now lower your experience, and you'll be able to get yourself some bonus experience for other things. That's all fine and dandy. The fun thing though is, remember about that combination. It's down X, and then all four of the trigger buttons. So, hold those down during the fade out. And, this is not right at all. Alright, so, disengage, withdraw, and now, we are in a zombie-like state. For all the drivers and blades. This is where things get broken. So, you can switch as you jump, and you'll be able to do an infinite jump. I am not great at this. I might have messed up the glitch. Yeah, I think I messed up the glitch. Give me 1 second. I'm not fully, 1,000,000% at the glitch. I'm still in the learning process, but yeah.
I don't think we can avoid this skirmish. If I have to.
Alright then. So, I was able to get this all to work out. Alright then. So, I was able to get the glitch it properly triggered for me this time. So, with that situation all fine and dandy, come over here, and if you're able to do a good combination, you'll be able to infinitely jump. It's a really tight pattern. I'm not great at this. As you can see, we're infinitely jumping up. With this is an insane sequence break you can do to just destroy the game. I'd recommend just go ahead watching some speedruns of it though. Just seeing this fun glitch in action. Just seeing how well you can do it. Again, I'm not great at the pattern. Yeah, as you can see, things are very glitchy in this state. Yeah, I was trying to practice it all yesterday. Wasn't really working out so hot. So one thing of note though, I guess while we're in the crater, I guess they do respawn, so you can refight the golden monsters if you want. So as you can see, you can still take them down. However though, the golden monsters we'll get to in a moment. Just still be safe for later on this episode. Just because the golden monsters, they suck. I hate the golden monsters in this game. So I guess I'll see you guys once I work on this glitch a little bit more. Pretty much once I finally get on top of this cliff. All I know is that it's very precise. The timing is very exact. Almost there. There we go. Whew. My hands are exhausted, but with this, we have arrived at the final level. Yeah, we've automatically sequence broke into, well, the final landmark before the final area. Then again, this area doesn't open up until the end game, but you can break this game wide open. Just trying to see if it will spawn any landmarks. Or I guess it considers me in this ghost-like state. Thankfully, there is a thing here to unspawn us. Nope, you're still in this glitch-like state. Right, save quit. That's the other part. There we go. And upon reloading, we have essentially skipped most of the game. This is the insane glitch. So much so, you can make yourself do the walk up those cliff sides up to where you can fight Malice. However though, I'm not going to do it because it was a pain in the arceus enough to get up here.
Whoa.
I'm not going to be going all the way back.
Who's in?
So yeah, we've essentially skipped most of the game. We're just pretty much free to wander about as we see fit. So this is the insane sequence break. However though, because how this game is structured, you can't go in, prevent Malice from all that stuff. Every event is triggered by one thing previously. So we can't just go about willy-nilly. We have to progress the story if it so seems. So you can't go up there and fight Malice right now. That you cannot do. As you can see, I'm really fumbling around right now. But thankfully, I'm not really too concerned. Right over there is another one of the gold monsters. And yeah. So I guess with that little fun excursion out of the way, that was the ultimate sequence break. So with this, we now have, well, more of the game to play through.
What a pleasant stroll.
So,
Right. Where shall we head to next?
I guess we'll see you guys at the next location.
To wrap this up before Lord Hugo arrives.
Oops, Bridget beat herself up. Totally not paying attention or anything. How did I miss that obvious detail? Well, I guess kind of going through this little lull of a section, there's some interesting details about Xenoblade 2 Torna. Namely, not too much information is actually relevant. Just trying to dig on through the original files, there really wasn't too much that was really interesting in terms of old details. The only old detail that I could really come across that's interesting was, well, just making on through some unused enemies primarily found in Gormott and in Torna. The only other one I could really think of was some unused enemies and some level 1 Arden that were found in the original areas of Torna, probably as like some cattle that Adam was raising. That might have been involved within a similar Arderon raising thing, but went unused. That's more or less it. Not really too much in terms of the beta information. Then again, a lot of this stuff for Torna was meant to be for the original game. A lot of the information there is still within, I guess, base game stuff. Yeah, going through that New Game Plus. This New Game Plus is so much faster. It's not even funny. Wasn't letting me move on. Alright then. And the next major thing of note, really, to going through the unused content of the game also, which I forgot originally, but thankfully I remember because all this can be done post-commentary, is that there is a number of chips that were missing in the game Torna the Golden Country, but is available in the main game. Because of these unnamed weapon types, they go unused in Torna, but the names are still there, such as the Preon chip, which would give like the Shooting Star, Dodachi, Shooting Star Gunblades, etc. These chips went missing in the Torna, but their names still exist. These chips are the Preon chips, Tachyon chips, Hexagon chips, Angrate chips, Spiral chips, Fluorite chips, Zircon chips, Positron chips, Photon chips, Axion chips, Hadron chip, Mirror Matter chip, Albright chip, Dark Matter chip, Noclite chip, and the Howardite chip. All these chips, they range in power. Obviously, the best one that's missing is the Preon chip, but given how short the game is, not really necessary to add all these chips in. It's just nice to have them in. Alright then. So with that all done, our next course of action, we have to wait until after the Malice attack has occurred here in Oresco, and then build our community up to level 2, yeah. As you can tell, it's been a few months since I last recorded. I really hate the community aspect of this game. So, once you've done all this, 2 bards are available out here. You might be able to do the zombie hover glitch over here. So, we can go ahead and talk to these bards. So from here, you can get yourself an ultimate weaponry. Not super useful. And then for the other bard, what do you give? You get, for 100,000, you get a love donut. This works pretty much like the love source from from the main game. Really boosts the affinity. These two, I really don't find useful at all. The reason why is because this is from a fresh new game plus. Everybody's level 99. Because you had to be level 99 for the Superbosses that we're going to do in a little bit. And yeah, so I have already went through and done all the community. Just from doing the community twice or so, everyone's like S5, S6. So, it's really not the most beneficial. Honestly, you can just skip on the bards. They're not really the most useful. In fact, one more New Game Plus playthrough, and I'll probably be at max affinity with everyone will be very close, if not at max affinity. And then, yeah. That's really it there. Ultimate Weaponry is also not the most useful, because you're also going to get a lot of SP also just from fighting all the monsters for the side quests and such. And then there's also the super bosses, which do give off a lot of affinity, weapon power too, so again, not useful. Next up, I don't know if I've already mentioned this or not. So affinity chart, we also have the hidden affinity we can go through. I never really went into this. This opens up in New Game Plus.
This is how I'll protect you all.
Just trying to see what might be useful. Heading on into super bosses. I guess I can boost my ether up.
This is how I'll protect you all.
So yeah, so everyone gets hidden affinity charts. They're expensive like the main game, but it's pretty alright, I guess. One of the very broken ones is getting the invincibility thing. That's pretty broken also.
I'm coming along in leaps and bounds.
Break duration. And I guess boost strength also.
Along in leaps and bounds.
Well, I guess we do need one more. Dexterity or agility. I guess I can just... Oh, yeah, I don't have enough. Dexterity it is.
Along in leaps and bounds.
So, yeah. So, I'm not for sure what's the awards once you get up to maximum affinity. If it's like the main game, you get yourself, like, pretty good skill nodes and such.
Standing on the shoulders.
I'll go ahead and just finish out everyone's things. Alright, and the next little thing I want to note is barrier skip. I kind of mentioned it. I am kind of garbage at it. Let's line ourselves up back here. So yeah, so barrier skip, I've already hinted at before. It's not something I'm good at. I haven't really practiced it at all. So essentially, since I kind of mentioned barrier skip in the main Let's Play, what we do is that we just jump on here, line ourselves up, jump. Yeah, I almost got it there. Essentially what we're doing is that we are landing on the platform on the back. I'll probably see you guys once I get it. It's not too difficult. There we go. See, it's not too hard. So we jump up here, then we fall back here. This saves a little bit from having to open up the 2 nodes back there. I have already done it in my in this playthrough. So yeah, I just did a really quick playthrough. So there's really couple last things I want to do. The first one is that I want to hop to an inn. The reason why is because, well, I've probably already mentioned this. It's been 4 months since I recorded the first part of this video. But the first thing I want to do is that you can level yourself down or make yourself a little bit more challenging. The reason why I want to do this is that I want to make everyone level 50, except for Laura. And our next destination is going to be the final battle. There's some stuff that I never really showed off there in the finale. Namely, Malice's special arts. So during the final battle, you have to build up your party gauge to unleash blows from the Aegises. Well, as it turns out, Malice has his own attacks too. I killed Malice so fast that, well, he never got his things off. So, to start things up, our next goal is going to be in custom difficulty. So here in custom difficulty, I already kind of set it up. I'm going to set HP to maximum. So the difficulty is already set to pretty much how it is in the main game. The only difference though is that there's no Aegis thing. So chain attack multiplier, you do a lot more. Player health restoration. So yeah, so you can make things as cheesy as possible, which will be the focus later on this episode. So with that all done, I need to go ahead and defeat Malice.
You don't know what you're doing, do you, partner?
Well, that was quite a fest. Yeah, with damage set to minimum being level 99, managed to somehow survive Jin's final onslaught and get damage capped.
Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. Remember?
And the final thing of note, Gort. On New Game Plus, his level scales up to yours. Also, you cannot die in this battle, even if you input the death sheet. However, though, I don't know if this carries over in New Game Plus. Yeah, he is not lasting too long. Yeah, he's going to go down super fast. So yeah, so that's a big thing, is that his level scales. Level 99. I guess to balance out since, well, your entire party is level 99. So that is really it. I know I didn't talk during this battle, but there really wasn't anything to say. A lot of stuff happened during the story. And, well, Gort you cannot lose. Even if you try, even if you input the death sheet.
I still wanted to play.
A very disturbing boss, and honestly, I felt that Gort... This battle I don't really like that much. It's just there to clear up a character that was forgotten about like a third of the way through the game and somehow became relevant once again. But really the turning point is Jin, especially what happens after.
Shameless.
So that really is it in New Game Plus. We only have one thing left. One last community that we never did. It is time for us to pay for our insolence. This is going to suck. Alright then. So, with that all done, what else is there really to do? Well, if we go over to our community, as you can see, we only need one left to reach maximum community. Where the heck is this last character, you might be asking? Well, right up here we have the Ancient Seal of Valletta. Inside here, well, we need to access our slates. So from here, you need to collect all 16 slates of the game. 14, 16, however many there were. So you need to insert all these plates. once you pass certain thresholds, more of the cave will become open. I don't remember the number offhand, but I just like waiting until now. So upon inserting like 2 or 3 or so, like half like around 8 or 10, I guess around 8, and then all 16. Let's see what this cave of absolute misery has in store. So, inside the first chamber, we have ourselves our first treasure chest. Physical defense up 2, and a lot of gold. Pretty nice. So, inside layer 2, we can come up here, and here in the back.
You're coming with me, treasure.
A lot more treasures. Egger Boost 3, chivalric stuff. Pretty alright stuff. So, here we have the Golden Shrine. Inside here, we have the Tasteless Altar.
The suspense is killing me.
Inside here, you get silver chips and gold chips. Super nice. Silver, I do believe, increases the drop rate of gold, while gold chips increase item rates. One of those. Super useful for grinding up money. Alright then. So, right back here, we have the last 2 barrels. These green barrels here in the back do count for the sense of justice. So yeah, so a lot of gold. So, let's go ahead and talk to the half-sage.
What do you think you're doing, breaking my lovely seal? I was so happy stuck in this realm. Just me and all the space of treasure with no one to interfere. But I leave eternity! Perhaps this is my fault for including a release mechanism, but it can hardly let adventurers for curiosity. The only problem is I need to procure great volumes of cash to create a new seal. Perhaps I can put the curiosity's hapless adventurers to good use. Tell me, my friends, have you heard the legend of the golden monsters? They're a most special breed of monsters. Very proud, terribly fierce, unspeakably strong. They're almost Superboss level. For a not-so-small payment, I might be willing to tell you where these legendary beasts can be found. Since you were strong enough to break my seal, you must be brave heroes who can relish a legendary battle, yes? Well, what do you say?
So from here, you can purchase everything's location. So, I don't think I'll be able to afford this. Actually, I might be able to. I'm not going to be able to. I'll be about 100,000 short. Thankfully, this game is generous enough to make this curb relatively easy. So we only have to get about 80,000. So yeah, so upon defeating them, he will give some stuff. So these are all the locations. So from here, Sentinel Cathria can be found at Fentley Village in Torna. Herculean Gibson can be found at Rackamore in Torna. Then Stream Sand Corridor. In Annis's, you'll need a purchase. I'm just going to be saving time now since I'll be doing this on my very optimized New Game Plus playthrough that's been more or less the highlight of this episode. This is found at Starseer's Pedestal up in the highest reaches of the Tornan interior. So, we need some preparations. I've already recorded the boss battles. I love this golden texture. So, simply put, the best way... Oh, there's one more chest back here. Please contain the last 80,000 I need.
The suspense is killing me.
I don't think so. No, only 8,000. Not the end of the world. So yeah, I could probably sell off the stuff, so... Preparations. Make sure you're at least level 65 before starting things out. For accessories, increased party gauge is going to be useful. You want to play a little bit more on the defensive. If you have like classic medals, that'll be very useful for just general crit healing. That's generally the name of the game, is just being able to tank, take damage, and heal off. And for accessories, Wingberry Cakes and Galaxy Charms are the name of the game. I've already kind of gone over this later on this episode. So we have misery to go through. for this, the reason why I saved this up for the New Game Plus episode, I'd recommend taking these guys on a New Game Plus. The reason why? They suck.
I wonder what.
Finally.
Alright then, now we begin the pain. This is done, all these battles are done in my New Game Plus file. I'll be straight up honest. I despise the super bosses of this game. The Golden Beasts, they are the game's super bosses. They are terribly designed. To be exact, Malice, the last enemy we fought, was level 50. There's some like level 50 bunnets up there if you do zombie hover or jump down from the highest most point. Who needs a smooth leveling curve to get up to the super bosses when you have this game? So, New Game Plus introduces custom difficulty. This will make your life so much easier. This is basically what I am running. Enemy attack power and attack frequency are set down to the minimum, and yet all the unique monsters, they have their own annoying gimmicks. So, the first one is level 65. Yeah. You go from level 50 to level 65. The nice little thing about getting up to level 65 is that if you do all the side quests and rest at the end, you'll be about that level to start the unique monsters. So, we have Sentinel, Carpathia. This guy kind of sucks. One thing to note though is that they all have, awakenings. And this is an Urkin, so automatically they suck. Elemental awakenings, and they have very mean gimmicks. One very important thing to note about Sentinel, much like the other Urkins, you cannot chain it, well, you cannot break them traditionally. You have to wait for them to open up. They have their own art to do so. So I'm just waiting for you to do that art. Well, this is set to minimum custom. Thus, the game balance is not made for the super bosses. They are not. So, in order to do super bosses, well, since we're not going to get around to Sentinel's gimmick, his main gimmick is that he summons ads, likes to inflict stench, a lot of other annoying status ailments that will just make your life as difficult as humanly possible. Alright, now we know what we gotta do. Sure, Adam. So yeah, these guys have a crap load of health, and just, the game was not made for this. Just because of the level balances. Thankfully, I will say though, in that, Future Connected, a game that's similar in nature to how this game is constructed, it's a little bit finer tuned, but it's still, I mean, the super boss of that game is only like 5 levels above the final boss. Here, you have to double your level cap. And that is why I hate the super bosses of this game. In fact, I'd also recommend setting the HP down to minimum because these guys, as you can tell, even though I'm level 99, they just don't go down with these. So finished out this guy. There's not really too much. I didn't get the full burst, but I don't really care. Jin is the best damage healer of the game, so invest your stuff into Jin.
I am as relentless as the tides. Begin.
Alright, barely got overkill. So yeah, so you get a lot of experience from this guy. A lot of experience and a lot of gold.
Hardly even broke a sweat.
So you might have noticed that the things have been super expensive. Essentially put, the next super boss is level 76 or so. He's in the 70s. So, the game designed for you to do is defeat the first Golden Beast, grab all the items since the items they do give is better than anything you can get at that point of the game. You go there, resume the battle, do the unique monster once again, fight him again, keep on grinding, until you get up to the next super boss. This design, I hate. This is one reason why I held off on recording this episode for so long, is that the super bosses, they are not well designed. Not only that, but they only get worse with time. Yeah. When I said I hate the super bosses of this game, I hate the super bosses of this game. So that is why I recommend just going to custom. Just kill these guys as fast as possible. Minimize the threat, because one wrong move and you're dead. Even at level 65, if you move wrong, they have less powerful attacks. They have elemental awakenings, which are easily triggerable. It is not a fun time. Well, that is the first of these super bosses. So, next up, we gotta go ahead and awaken the next super boss. Alright then. So the next battle is Herculean Gibson. This guy also sucks. He's level 75. The main reason why this guy sucks is that he has really hard-hitting art. His worst art, though, is Tank March. Anyone caught in the path, especially on normal and lower difficulty, will pretty much be a total wipe. Yeah, maybe lowering the HP wasn't the best idea. This guy has the most HP in the game, like several million. He's not fun. Enrage. Yeah, so keep level 4s and chain attacks for when he decides to do that. Breathe nullifies healing, can also be really nasty. But the main one is Tank March. Not only that, but it has a pretty quick attack. Horn Dance is also an annoying art. It will do quite a bit, so yeah. That's more or less it about Gibson. He behaves a lot like Relentless Arderon from the main game, though if you're familiar with Arderon, operates quite a bit like that. So yeah, so you're just seeing how much damage I've been doing with Jin. He's heavily optimized. He does massive damage. I guess we can get started. So let's look at Jin. 177,000. He does a lot because he is pretty much optimized. He has max affinity attack, Hunter's chemistry. I forget when you get those. I think you get them for filling up affinity charts. So yeah. Well, chain attack's just about done, so I'll see you guys at the end. Tank March is the real thing you gotta worry about Gibson. If you see that, immediately chain attack, even if you're not ready for a full burst. Just better than getting one punch.
May I follow? Hidden Blade, 100-year wave. Magnificent.
Their defense is in tatters.
Magnificent.
Jin, I'm trusting you with
Revolution. Magnificent.
this. No mercy. Terminal flash.
Magnificent. May I follow? Bridget.
Beltane blade.
Magnificent. Enemy.
There we go. Like 2 million or so? That did quite a bit. So I think he has about 8 million or so. So, once again, you gotta fight this guy like 6 or 7 times, get a full burst, to get as much overdrive as you can, I guess experience as you can for the overkill. Lather, rinse, repeat, until you manage to beat him. Not only that, but the accessories that they drop lead to the next one. Like for example, the Urchin drops a lot of nullify heal stuff to take on Gibson. This guy drops Tachyon Scarves, or nullify, or I guess resist doom. You are going to need it for the next one. I guess I can go ahead and just try to find them. They should be here somewhere. Here we go, Fighter Circlets. You need these for the next guy. I really wish there was one more. Doom. And Doom. Alright then, so, time to awaken the next one. Alright then, here in the Dangsa region, the location we need to go to is at the bottom of the sand dunes. Right down here, we have a very gimmicky unique monster. As you can tell, the unique monsters have been getting gimmicker and gimmicker. Level 85, Mesmer Telcock. How the hell do you pronounce his name?
Take the initiative.
Yep, Plowlock. This guy's gimmick is that while he doesn't have as much health as the other guy, his gimmick is that if he has any elemental orbs attached to him, he will use them to heal. So, the name of the game here is do not use elemental orbs. Instead, rely a lot more on driver combos. I think this guy's weak to driver combos. Well, it says that as after I break it. So once again, you fight this guy numerous times in order to get the in order to get a lot of experience. Not only that, there is an extremely dangerous art this guy has. I don't think he's going to survive me getting to the end. I'll probably fight him once again to show it. So that's Telclock. He dropped some pretty good items, and this guy is super risky. He didn't do it, but I will try it again until he finally does it. So he drops Infinity Greaves. We'll get to Infinity Greaves momentarily. I just want to show off this guy's gimmick.
Here we go. I know what I'm doing. Start
Life Plan. Upon using that, he will use it to heal himself if there is an elemental orb on him. So yeah, that's his first gimmick. Now if you'd be so kind to show off your more dangerous move the reason why you have fighter circlets on. Sweet juice.
That was nice and easy.
That is his attack. As you might have noticed, it said resist doom. Him using that attack, if you aren't prepared, can instantly kill your party. In fact, I've had it so, during my casual playthrough of this game, him using that attack while I had fighter circlets on. Resist doom doesn't mean you're immune to doom. Because he can just like, oh hey, I'm going to reduce your doom resistance a little bit. And it's less than 100, and if you get unlucky, yeah. Not only that, but he does have a attack where he launches bombs at you. It can inflict some other nasty status ailments. I'll try to get him real quick. Telclock, I've had so much issues with. So much so, even though they recommend you taking on this guy numerous times to take on the final ultimate super boss, yeah. They're sweet, Zeus. Never managed to resist, thankfully. Yeah, this build can turn down RNG. Yeah, he's not using his other attack. Seed Bomb. Yeah, that's another dangerous attack he does. Does quite a bit of damage to your entire party, and if you're playing a normal, can cause some potential knockouts too. So that is the third of the 4 super bosses. Our last destination is in the interior.
Move out.
Alright then. And lastly here at the Pedestal of Stargazing. Before fighting Anzine, build Party Gauge. You will need this, especially if you're not playing on custom. Hello there. So Anzine is the hardest super boss of the game. The strategy for Anzine that I have is deal as much damage as you can. Get as many orbs. Warning cry. As soon as you hear warning cry, try to go into a chain attack. Yes, it's only 2. You'll get to why momentarily. Yeah, not looking likely. Not the end of the world. Okay, we can manage this.
Magnificent. Zero blade. Magnificent. It's not Mithra. Take over. Magnificent.
This is the part I like most.
Elemental burst. Wash, rinse, repeat. Magnificent. Ice revolution. Begin.
Well, guess we're not going to see Annis's gimmick. I'll do another battle of this. So Annis, this was actually the best Annis I've had. On my casual playthrough, I tried him at 93 and 94 on easy, and just would not cooperate.
Enemy down.
So, as you can see, the party gauge is disabled. You have to defeat these Roggles in order to actually gain party gauge.
Not really.
So we're gonna fight Annis again, just showing it more casually without the whole thing. So this is one reason why I'd recommend going on custom mode. So yeah, Annis can be very nasty. Not only that, but if he becomes Elementally Awakening, does a lot. Even Feather Pain can be very nasty, even on easy. Alright. There's Warning Cry. So yeah, just showing off casually. Okay, do gain 1 bar. That's better than I remember. So yeah, so if you want to chain attack, you are going to need to kill the ads. And then once you're dealing with like 3 ads at once, a lot of Feather Veins of Pain, this just becomes super annoying. And at half health gains Elemental Awakening, so yeah, this could be a rep even on the easiest possible difficulty. Just showing how annoying Annis really is. Hawk Shot. Alright. Hawk Shot does a crap load of damage and might actually do a complete party kill if you're unlucky. I have low party gauge on. Alright. Immune to break, so you can't do a lot of break combos. So, one good reason about doing Annis is that you get the best chips of the game.
Time crept up on us, it seems.
So just doing all of those on the custom difficulty, that is just my best bet. Just so that way you can minimize your grinding, minimize effort, and just have an easier time. You saw the level curve. 66, 75, 85, 99. It is not smooth. It's 10 to 14 levels of increase without much restraint. This whole reason is why I hate the super bosses of this game. For the regular Xenoblades, you have a normal natural curve. You get close to the level cap and you're good enough to fight the super bosses. Rarely you have to do a lot of regular grinding to take on super bosses. Here, it's grind, 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 and it's just the one aspect I can never get behind. So I guess going over the stuff, Moon Matter Chips has the highest crit rate. So the reason why those battles went by super fast is that I've had Moon Matter on Jin. This is just Jin's loadout. Critical up 6. Affinity max attack 6. It does a little bit of damage. If we're at S+, then those battles would go by a whole lot faster. So yeah. So just having high block rate is going to be really helpful. I'm sorry this video is just hasn't been the greatest, but this is just one aspect of the game I just don't like. Put on satellite whips, I guess. So everyone's at maximum customization. So as you can see, arts.
Is it me,
I didn't
or
ever
have
really bother
become
leveling up arts,
stronger?
really. I mean, the only one I would probably do is Jin, because I like using a lot of Jin's arts, but yeah. It's really a war of attrition. War of just leveling up, and yeah, so Infinity Greaves, really useless. You get these from, that one guy. From, Talk. So yeah. And also you get gold to level up, kind of like I was mentioning off screen. So, with that all done, what is your grand reward for suffering 4 unique monsters? Well, our destination lies in the Tasteless Altar.
And move out.
So back here in the Tasteless Altar, here I've already done all the super bosses. In fact, so much so, if you were to do a New Game Plus max community percent playthrough of this game, on New Game Plus, if you already fought the super bosses, guess what? You don't even need to fight them again. Just having them done once, you can go back here and talk to the half-sage.
Oh, my fellas, you know there would be warriors strong enough to defeat the unspeakably strong golden monsters. I knew you weren't just some ordinary schmoes from the moment you broke my seal, but this is something else. While I may not have been able to spend all eternity with the priceless treasure, but this isn't all that either. Because we got to meet strong warriors like your lovely buff self, I mean. And because you brought my frankly unspeakable intel for a pretty penny without even trying to haggle. I don't have anything more to sell you, but if you ever want to come to look at my treasure, you're welcome to.
Why, thanks. That's bloody brilliant. Well done, you.
Superlative.
Thank you.
Making memories is what it's all about, really.
And for completing the affinity chart, having everyone in your community to get this lovely picture. I don't know, for some reason I'm having sudden flashbacks to Isle Delfino. I don't know, so with that all done, there's really nothing else to say. We've done pretty much everything. So I guess now, I'm going to go ahead and beat Gord one last time. I'll see you guys back at the credits for, well, my thoughts on the game as a whole. Since I stayed quiet during the original credits, I think it's finally time we put this game to rest. Thank you all so much for watching this Let's Play. Yeah, I know the music's kind of weirdly transitioned because the credits of this game is kind of weird and all that stuff. Yeah, it does. Starts here and then eventually it gets on into the actual ending song. So I guess with this game all done, I guess time to talk about my thoughts on the project altogether, or I guess mini project. So, as a game, I don't really care for Torna the Golden Country as much as Xenoblade 2. Yes, there's a lot of stuff I do like about the Golden Country. No Merc missions, field checks are a lot more simpler, and no Merc missions. However though, there's a lot of stuff that I really don't like about the game.
There's always hope.
The first major thing is the community requirements. The game says that side quests are completely optional, so you can ignore them. Only to straight up lie to your face and say, yes, you definitely need to do these, otherwise you can't progress further into the game. Is just one aspect I did not like about this game. It's probably the number one aspect that really makes me not want to play this game again. And then, another aspect that I don't really like is the super bosses. This game handled the super bosses kind of poorly, as you've already heard. So, yeah, I'm not really the biggest fan of this game. There's some stuff I like, but other stuff not so much. So my thoughts on the project itself, I'm not really too big of a fan of the project. I mean, yes, I did do my best to go through the game. However, though, going through this game, I was suffering some pretty heavy depression going throughout it. My mental health while recording this took a nosedive off the deep end, and it made recording this game pretty difficult. It was not a fun time. You might notice that the difficulty kind of dropped towards Oresco, and that was because I just had a very bad mental health episode then. It's not something I really like to talk about. It was recorded during a pretty bad time during my life. I mean, yeah, you could tell the drop in I guess my audio quality in the before and after this set, because in terms of this episode, before I got to the super bosses, you can tell that my tone really changed. So yeah, I mean, thankfully things as of recording this part's gotten a little bit better, but still not the greatest. But I'm so glad I went through this project. It definitely was a pretty alright project, and pretty nice for a side project as we are wrapping up Xenoblade 2. And plus, those are some weird looking monster Gort-like things that's never brought into the main game. Just one weird discontinuity between Torna in the main game, never brought back, and yeah. One other reason why I don't really like the Gort battle is like, it's supposed to set up saying, hey, yeah, here's the Praetorium starting to attack the refugees, but this was the moment where everything changed. So I guess going on forward, what lies next in terms of the project? Well, we got the rest of Xenoblade 2, so that's going to take up the rest of the, I guess the times as that game goes back to Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So yeah, so hopefully you all enjoy this little mini Let's Play, and I'll see you guys all during the next project, and the rest of Xenoblade 2. We ain't done there yet.
In the course of a lifetime, a man will see uncountable meetings and partings. Yet, as your life's candle sputters and dies, whose face is it that rises to greet you? Happy is the man who can sleep in the comfort of the smile he sees then. No, I don't wish for forever. Even just for one moment. It's enough if it's with her. And yet, what is the man to do who has not been afforded that chance? The road stretches on without end. I cannot but walk down it. As long as I keep walking, I can hold out hope that one day the time may come when I see her smile again. That hope keeps me afloat.
You won't come back.
This is the road I must walk. Our paths won't cross. But should we, in fact, ever meet again, on that day,
Since that day